energy war between Ukraine and Russia is escalating dramatically, impacting not only military operations but also global energy supplies. Ukrainian forces have taken the offensive, striking deep inside Russia, targeting critical oil and gas infrastructure. This raises critical questions about the future of energy security and the potential for further escalation. But here's where it gets controversial. Are these attacks on Russian energy facilities legitimate targets? Or do they risk widening the conflict and causing unintended consequences for civilians? This plant, operated by Russia's state-owned Gazprom, is a key part of a production complex that's one of the largest in the world, boasting an annual capacity of 45 billion cubic meters. It processes gas condensate not only from Orenburg's own fields, but also from Kazakhstan's Karachaganak field. The Russian regional governor, Yevgeny Solntsev, reported that the drone strikes damaged a workshop at the plant. Kazakhstan's energy ministry confirmed that Gazprom had informed them of the disruption to gas processing originating from their country, citing an emergency situation following a drone attack. Ukraine's general staff claimed a large-scale fire erupted, damaging a gas processing and purification unit. This attack highlights the vulnerability of critical energy infrastructure and the potential for significant disruptions to supply chains. And it wasn't an isolated incident. A separate drone strike hit the Novokuibyshevsk oil refinery in the Samara region, also near Orenburg. Ukraine's general staff reported that the strike caused a fire and damaged the refinery's main processing units. This refinery, operated by Rosneft, has an annual capacity of 4.9 million tons and produces over 20 types of petroleum products. These attacks demonstrate a clear strategy by Ukraine to disrupt Russia's ability to fund its war effort through energy exports. In retaliation, Russian forces have been targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure. They recently attacked a coal mine in the Dnipropetrovsk region and an energy site in the Chernihiv region. Energy firm DTEK reported that 192 coal miners were safely brought to the surface with no injuries. Chernihiv, the regional energy company in Chernihiv, reported extensive damage from an attack that cut off electricity to 55,000 users. Russian attacks have increasingly focused on Ukraine's civilian power grid and energy sites, a tactic that has drawn international condemnation. This tit-for-tat exchange highlights the devastating impact of the war on civilian populations and critical infrastructure. Adding another layer of complexity, a sanctioned Shadow Fleet tanker was reportedly preparing to transfer Russian liquefied natural gas. The gas appeared to have originated from Russia's Portovaya plant on the Baltic coast. And this is the part most people miss. The existence of this shadow fleet underscores the challenges in enforcing sanctions and the lengths to which Russia is willing to go to circumvent them. The European Union is attempting to crack down on this shadow fleet. They want flag states that register ships to pre-authorize the stopping and inspection of these illicit oil tankers. The EU's diplomatic arm, the EEAS, estimates the shadow fleet to consist of between 600 and 1,400 ships. The EU has already sanctioned over 400 vessels and entities enabling the fleet's operation. The upcoming 19th package of sanctions will increase this number to approximately 560 and bring forward a ban on Russian liquefied natural gas, LNG, imports to January 1, 2027. The EEAS also notes a recent increase in shadow fleet ships sailing under false flags. These measures highlight the EU's commitment to cutting off Russia's revenue streams, but also reveal the difficulty in effectively policing maritime activities. Further complicating the situation, Donald Trump has reportedly pressured Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to surrender territory to Vladimir Putin. This is a stark contrast to his previous statements, suggesting Ukraine could reclaim all its territory and even advance further into Russian lands. After a phone call from Putin, Trump is also reportedly backing away from supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. The Financial Times reported that Trump warned Zelenskyy that Putin would destroy Ukraine unless a peace deal was made. One source described Trump's message as, "Your country will freeze and your country will be destroyed if Ukraine doesn't negotiate." This development raises serious questions about the future of U.S. support for Ukraine and the potential for a shift in the geopolitical landscape. Boldly, this could be interpreted as Trump prioritizing a personal relationship with Putin over the sovereignty and security of Ukraine. Meanwhile, on the ground, Ukrainian strikes reportedly killed 2 people and wounded 1 in Russia's Belgorod region after a drone dropped explosives on an agricultural enterprise, according to local governor Vyacheslav Gladkov. Moscow has intensified direct attacks on Ukrainian civilian infrastructure, while Ukraine's military denies deliberately targeting civilians. This complex and rapidly evolving situation raises crucial questions. How far will Ukraine's attacks on Russian energy infrastructure go? And what will be the consequences? Will the EU's efforts to curb the shadow fleet be effective? And how will a potential shift in U.S. policy under a Trump presidency impact the course of the war? What responsibility, if any, does Ukraine have to limit its attacks to military targets? Should Russia be held accountable for targeting civilian infrastructure? Share your thoughts in the comments below.